Hello everybody, and welcome back to Fandom Fridays, where we proceed to read all the fanfics that are not pony related. Why? Because Bringer is about to bring out a special announcement to everyone, and he knows that this announcement might be a little controversial, but he figures since he has a fan base of about only 400, he can say this without anybody really going after him. He also needs to remind you all that if you do want to have a fan base of angry fanboys screaming at him, that you have full permission to advertise his video, complain about his complaints, and call him every single dirty name in the book. But we need to remind you that with a subscriber base of only 400, nobody will be listening to him. So go ahead, spread the word around. The Boys is probably one of the worst pieces of superhero self-deconstruction that I've ever seen in my fucking life, and I hate it, and I hate that it's one of the most binge-watched shows on Amazon! I, I don't get this. Why are so these people binge-watching this shit? No, why are people so caring towards it? It's just a deconstruction, guys. It's a superhero satire. There are about a billion of them. You might be wondering, well, why don't you like it? It's superhero satire. Seen it with about, 5 billion different kinds of cartoons, series, movies, comics. I've seen it before. Well, this one, the superheroes are all famous, like superstars. Seen it. Where? Ultimates. It sucked there too. The only good thing from Ultimates was Samuel L. Jackson. Well, this has sex. You like sex, right? Again, seen it, Watchmen. And no, if you're going to try to sell me with sex, you're talking to the wrong guy. Yeah, I know, but Fall of Starfleet had sex in it. Yeah, the sex scenes were not meant for deconstruction purposes. They were meant for my own fat material. If I really wanted if I ever were to, say, go back in time and tell myself that Fall of Starfleet is my chosen fic and you should go ahead and write it, I probably would have told myself to cut out the sex scenes. Starla's whole entire rape moment would probably have turned into just her getting beaten badly and then kidnapped, or I would be subtle about what happened to her, or I would just have Conquest torture her with mind powers. The rarity in Spike's sex scene would have happened off screen, and would have referenced it. Actually, now that I think about it, if you want a real statement of how the sex would have probably gone, you know that scene with Applejack and Caramel where they had sex and the camera just panned up? Most of the scenes would have gone like that. Didn't even really need it. Well, this is showing that if superheroes really existed, they'd be all assholes. Seen it. Well, this is showing how superheroes aren't doing enough in their stories and how they're seen it. So many other stories. Hell, I've seen webcomics pull this shit off. Better webcomics. Well, there's literally nothing you could tell me about The Boys that I haven't seen done better. Really, all The Boys is just Garth Ennis whack-off material. I have seen better deconstructions everywhere. Well, what type of deconstruction would make The Boys interesting to you? I have it. How about we get a superhero who's genuinely a good person because his family raised him right, and his friends are great people. He's had a good life, and quite frankly, is doing this because it's the right thing. Like I would if I was a superhero. And while he struggles with people trying to put him down, he still strives, struggles, proves that he can be a hero in spite of what other people tell him to. But that sounds like old superhero stuff. Exactly. Really, the only way you can do a reinvention of the deconstruction thing nowadays is to reconstruct it. That's it. No more, no less. The things that Frank Miller and Alan Moore, while they'll go on forever, have been sadly done to death. We've seen this done so many times that it just doesn't work for me anymore. Hell, I know of a good fanfic that's already shown that. It's called Lex Luthor Triumphant. And it's by Guapo Mendez. And this is the 4th chapter. Enjoy. That was an amazing introduction. I'm surprised. Thank you. Proceed. I don't know how I'm going to fold this one up for a man who has nothing. From inside the climate control headquarters at Site 1, Lex Luthor gazed at the fortress. It towered above them, majestic and serene. The camp had been set up 6 months ago, a few weeks after they had captured him. Having the man of zinc was one thing, but plundering his retreat, discovering the secrets, the technology he had in there, Lex couldn't wait to get his hands on all of it. It proved to be a quite formidable opponent. The first thing Lex did was try the silly yellow key in the lock. A special crane was made with a rotating mechanism of the hull to turn the key in the required direction. And it failed. It was a minor setback, he thought. And had he not inconsiderable resources of Lex Corp at his disposal. People were called, research facilities were built, and all sorts of methods were tried. The locks held. No amount of force or finesse could open them. He tried to dig through the walls or under the fortress, but each time he failed. The fortress looked like it was made from ice. At some point, it turned into a material so dense that no force on Earth, and he had access to all of them, could suppress him. And even his most powerful scanners could see through them. Even his special drills found no purchase on the material. At its peak, Site 1 was inhabited by over 75 people and had state-of-the-art technology and facilities. Over time, he had to concede defeat and pull his resources back to LexCorp. He let the skeleton crew to keep things running, arranged to have things return to top efficiency at a moment's notice, in case he got a breakthrough. That time was now, and he wasn't leaving until he opened the fortress. Dr. Tyler, are we ready? They're fitting Captain Holden with the creep suit, sir. But we won't know until everything is in place. They're waiting for the headpiece and the contacts. Creep suit. Luthor chuckled. It was an acronym for the suit that started with Kryptonian emulation something something. The creep suited Lex just fine. It will work. Lex said as he picked up an oddly shaped metallic case and walked to the control room. Indivisible pieces held up so far. The flight principle is what used the Golden Agnosky Airborne. Yes, sir, but I'm not sure how to be saved at a assault. We'll see. He walked into the prep room, where several scientists were busy fitting sensors and wires to a man wearing a skin-colored bodysuit. It had hundreds of wires over it, branching out like veins. Over that suit, they were fastening pieces of what looked like to be pieces of white leather armor. Captain Holden, how are you holding up? Just fine, sir. The undersuit's hugging me in all the wrong places. A few of the technicians laughed. Don't worry. When we pull this off, you won't have to wear it again. Thank you, sir. Let's place the metallic case on one of the work tables and hold it. Holden, do you know why we chose you for this? No, sir. You have the right measurements. As you are, your body type and figure is almost like the Kryptonians. You're almost as tall, almost as broad, and almost as heavy as he is. A 95% match. All we need is to tweak you just a little bit, cover you in massive patches with his DNA and biopatterns, and we're done. Basically, we're trying to trick an overzealous doorknob to open. Scientists took more and more pieces from the workbench and put them on Captain Holden. He delicately worked on, Each of them a remarkable piece, with fascinating spots that held the security holding his body. At key points, they are fitted with optic sensors, and those were connected to hair-thin wires that hooked to a small portable control panel. They assembled them, starting to hold his feet and work their way up. You see, I tried it before. Have someone wear the suit and flew it to a prearranged spot to see if it passes muster and open the door. I tried lookalikes, latex masks and holographic projectors. No, they weren't. He paused. But a few days ago, I realized you can have key to sensors to his biosignature. And hey, I can have a suit made to test the theory. Lex took out a pair of long-sleeved gloves and gave them to Holden. I had to leave the Department of Defense on hold for a few days to assemble this. Holden was screaming about the gloves. He made no comment. He put them on and helped her fasten the torso piece. Was said to just past the shoulder, but before the elbow. I tested the pieces. It used to be completely insulated from the weather. You'll have level 9 invulnerability, and with sunbursts, you'll even manage to hover to the ID spot. He went to the work table and grabbed the last piece from the case. When Luthor turned around, Holden gulped. He was holding in his hands a replica of Superman's face, from the shoulders to the trademark spit curl. Don't worry about the eyes. You don't have his eye contacts. The helpers fastened the headpiece, just like the others, and Holden was completely covered. Each part plugged to the control panel. How are you feeling, Holden? Fine, sir. Smells a bit... ugh. Right now, the suit is there, but it's not functional, and it's wrinkled like a cheap suit. Once we plug in, the suit will reinsert itself, and you may experience a discomfort. It's important that you soldier on until the tests are done. I won't disappoint you, sir. Let's went to the technician working on the control panel. He's ready. We're powering up the cert, Holden. Starting at 5%. The console hunt as it fell yellow sun energy through a mirror into fiber optic cables, arranged with painstaking detail to emulate a Kryptonian circuitry system. How are you feeling? No change, sir. 10%. The hum didn't increase tempo, but the pieces started to react. A few pieces cracked, slowly. Anything? Nope. 20%. Oh, I felt something move. The torso's tightening up a bit. Good. Run it up to 50%, Tyler. Yes, sir. The tempo increased, and the pieces seemed to gain better shape. Lex remembered when he was a kid and could not afford anything. He liked to round walk to department stores and see how they wrapped together. He recalled one time when the sales lady put in an object. A silver photo frame over a velvet board and covered it with a wrinkled piece of plastic. The lady used a hairdryer to smooth the plastic to perfection. This is something like that. Now I'm feeling them come together, sir. The legs are a bit tight and... Ow! My heart's a getting tense. Make it 100%. The dials went up to the top of the green markings, as pure sunlight streamed through the wires and energized the skin. The contour, the shape seemed to sharpen and focus as every piece clung to hold his body. The pieces overlapped in some places, but once it touched another, it seemed to remember where it was and where it should be. Sir! Holden's voice was strained. It hurts, sir. Ow! Look that! Ah! Legs. I can't move my neck. And no voice came out, only a strained groan. Holden, relax. Remember your breathing exercises. Holden, Luthor said, as Holden's files spiked. Diaphragm, not thoracic. A few seconds later, his moans increased in intensity and heart rate increased. His wrists are shattered. Ribs are severely bruised. Hairline fractures in the pelvis. Femur won't hold on much longer. You're doing fine, Holden. You're earning your bonus. To Tyler, the creep show is complete. Give him the painkillers. Another button was pushed, and a few cc's of anticholistic were administered to Holden's bloodstream. His files slowly stabilized and the moaning subsided. Bring it in tights. On another container, one of the techs took the red and blue uniform, and there was carefully where to put it on. All the wires were needed to feed sunlight to the skin, converged to the neck, so they could fit the uniform and feet up, and not disturb the wire network. Fortunately, the material can stress to 200 to 300% of its original length, and it didn't lose shape. The key was fastened to the soldiers with Velcro. Lex had forgotten how bright it was. Finally, they glued a small, button-sized speaker on his bottom lip. Open the eyes and release strong lips. The set just beneath the eyelid twitched. Beneath them, Holden's eyes blinked rapidly. Just about it, Holden. Time to put in the contact lenses. There we are. Now, speak if you're ready. Good to go, sir. The voice came out strained. His lips were a bit purple. Maybe from earlier, because now the face mask allowed him a little bit of wiggle room. Carefully, Lex put the contact lenses in. This should work with retinal scanners. Look everywhere. Look at everything on around the door. Gaze at the keyhole. Anything will help. Holden blinked a few times as if testing the lenses. We're done, Holden. Just relax and let the voice box do the talking. Lex contemplated him with approval and a bit of loathing. Perfect. He fastened his weather gear. Let's go. It took them more than an hour to take Holden from Site 1 to the threshold of the fortress. Dr. Tyler checked Holden's files periodically, making sure he wasn't too strained by the suit. Towers had been built against the fortress, and a freight elevator raised them up to the landing. The door dwarfed them, imposing. Start when you're ready, Tyler. The doctor activated the console secondary functions. Holden stood unassisted for a few seconds and drifted upwards. Lex knew it would work. After all, that was the principle that held the golden argosy in the air. The key fluttered regally as Holden cleaned the altitude. Lex knew the plutonium wasn't really here, but that key brought back too bad many memories. Holden was maybe 20 feet from the keyhole when the console started beeping. That was an invisible beam, completely non-harmful. Sarah engaged. Cue the voice. Tyler pressed the narrow button, and a voice was heard through the tiny speaker above them. I'm Superman. I love you, Lois. Please, stop. Damn you, Luthor. My name is Clark Kent. Batman will get you. But I was good! Why are you doing this? I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. A completely visible green beam scanned Holden from top to bottom. A few seconds later, the keyhole rotated on its own. It worked. Noisily, the massive door slid open. Holy shit! It worked! Tyler enthused. The helpers all but clapped with joy. Luthor merely nodded. Arctic air whizzed past them as the fortress finally granted them entrance. Inside, lights flickered on. Next to Lex, 24 commandos wearing state-of-the-art LexCorp gear stood in attention. Take Holden down and tend to him. He spoke to his earpiece. Engineers, make sure only we can open and close that door. Science team, stand by while we do security sweep. He entered the fortress carefully. Passed via satellite to Metropolis. The troops fed audio and video to Wilson, and he had direct communication with Lex. What do you see, Slade? Now that the door is open, sensors are working just fine. Over Lex's soldiers, several airborne probes flew by, each one in one direction to the fortress. If there are any traps, then let us know. I'm beginning to suspect there are none. I'm certain Zap never thought we'd bypass his defenses. He'd probably booby-trapped the keyhole, though. Tell the engineers to be careful. The insides of the fortress looked like they were carved out of the ice. The legs bent down and felt the ground. It was cool to the touch. In fact, the place's temperature was getting warmer. Under his leather gear, Lex started to sweat. He took off his jacket and handed it over, continuing to walk through the hallway. To the left, a rather heavy-looking ice door was ajar. Lois Lane room. Lex read. Despite the door's thickness, it was rather easy to pull it open. Apparently, he knew what hinges were for. The squad chuckled. Inside, he found a mannequin of Lois Lane, wearing a red dress and the most complete pearl necklace. On the wall, there was a picture of them flying through the air. Lois in his arms. To Superman with love. Lois, this must not be from a time when she didn't know. He dictated to his L-pad. Low priority room. They continued, reaching the next room. Inside was a sports car, with a few parts around it, next to a Jimmy Olsen mannequin. The car wasn't painted yet, and Lex could see thousands of fingerprint grooves on the metal. Probably not completely award-worthy. Take the car to R&D. Low priority room. The corridor ended in a sheer drop to a massive hall. Lex's eyes could not take in everything at once. A gigantic statue of a man and a woman holding a world aloft. A transatlantic, a Tyrannosaurus Rex, metallic portals, displays that were too far away to identify, along with cases, platforms, crystalline formations. You know, I'm surprised he didn't even mention the Kryptonian Zoo. That would be something interesting to talk about in this. And not one goddamn set of stairs. Like spoken to his earpiece, bringing the scout wings. Hours later, Lex walked to the ground floor of the fortress, while its people assembled hydraulic scissor elevators in order to access the higher end winches with metal baskets to get to the lower ones. Wilson's flying trap detectors had already given the all clear, having found no traps or guardians. The security people put red sun floodlamps all over the hall, just in case something Kryptonian power was there. Wilson chuckled when he told Luthor there were Superman mannequins on one of the higher floors, that the top floor had a strange contraption Wilson couldn't make heads or tails of it. Lex saw that the place was full of weapons, armor, and devices confiscated by the Kryptonian. Around the hall, he had rooms furnished dedicated to Clark Kent. Ha! The Kents, Perry White and the Plank Room, Batman and Robin, a crime computer he built for them, the transatlantic hanging from the roof that could not be anything else but the Titanic. The Kryptonian had the gall to steal the Titanic. I'll let Robert Ballard know, after my people are done with it. This is very sad, Tyler. What is it, Mr. Luthor? All of this. Lex pointing to the displays. The tawdry bric-a-brac, collected by an alien that desperately wanted to be human. This is the kind of stuff an old man would think a kid would love to own. Super secret fortress, stuffed to the gills with unbelievable, amazing loot. He picked up a gun labeled Caesarian Death Ray. This is nothing but a gigantic monument to his ego and overinflated victories. For instance, what powers this ray? What type of energy does it use? Does it affect only living tissue? What about inorganic materials? Can it vaporize rock, metal, wood? What are its uses for construction or demolition? He just hoarded them in his playhouse because they looked cool when they came to relax. Tyler arched an eyebrow just for a second, but Lex caught him. I know what you're thinking, Tyler. You're thinking I'm one to talk, because Metropolis has a skyscraper in the Sleepyville L, and every other project is named Lex this or L that. Well, let me tell you something. That building is full of people working, producing, making deals around the world that affect millions. All the technology I have, I use. If it makes me insanely rich, well, I will argue with that. But even my armors and nephrays are out there, and dozens the public can handle. Named after me, sure, but they are there. He returned the ray to his display. He saw a chair bolted from a device with thick seats of metal, strange layers carved in them. Some looked like they were made by intense heat, others by relentless pressure. Lex looked at him for a while, seemingly in a trance. 118 letters. Several sounds, just like the ones in our language. K is E as in meat. Squiggly line is I as in bit. Minutes passed and he snapped out his reverie and went to the device's control. A button reset the sheets to page number 1, and Lex started reading. Over long, he was laughing his head off. My word. It's his diary. When he put down his most innermost thoughts, the most powerful creature in the world, and you wrote like an emotional teenager, dealing with unrequited love. Dash hopes, dreams, and fears. He dictated it all into his pad. Write crypto English dictionary and contact the literary division. See if they can turn this pap into something they can sell. A voice crackled in his earpiece and told him the stairs were ready. Lex walked. Sir, the upper stairs are all accessible now. I'm on my way. The scissor elevator was next to an unfinished painting of an alien landscape. Call the art department, see sci-fi uses, and activate the hydraulic lift. Reach the spot where 8 Supermen stood side by side. Not on the closest one, it sounded metallic. Robots, say. Unless his scientific curiosity got the better of him. Duplicates for emergencies or companionship? Note to self. Recheck the lowest medic. High priority. Reverse engineer. He got back to the elevator to reach the last level. Sir, on the lower levels there's a kryptonite fault. Let's stop the elevator. Go on. Kryptonite fault, sir. These cards on the door. There's all sorts of colors here. Red, green, blue, white, gold, black, and pink. One that even looks like the Hope Diamond. Close the vault. Have the hazmat team go over it, and once we have the okay, get everyone on it. High priority room. Very well, sir. On the top level of the fortress there was 2 items. One was labeled Phantom Stone Projector, and the other was a large round screen, labeled Phantom Stone Monitor. When Lex got closely examining it, a few states in it coalesced to view. Lex Luthor, destroyer of Kal-El, son of Jor-El, we have been waiting for you. Note to the nostalgia, Craig. That is how you do a fucking Terrence Stamp impersonation! Check it! I smiled. They even looked like him. And I'm stopping there for right now. You know, guys, when you sit back and think about it, and compare this fic to, say, things like, The Boys, or that annoying piece of shit fanfic Metroplian, man! If you look closely at those two and compare this to them, you'll see in your heart that there is no comparison. This fic beats them all like the old money proceeds to hang them out to dry and seals them blind. Yeah, I know this is an amateur fanfic, but I prefer this over 100 The Boys. I prefer this story over a little rational thick that thinks it's smart. Because, interestingly enough, this fic is smarter than them. It actually looks at the mythos, takes what it knows, and actually works with it. Because this story is good. And that's what I promote. Actual good fics that actually, take the time, work with the universe, and don't treat the world like it's some sort of bad thing to live in. So, to The Boys and Metropolitan Man, I would like to say, embrace my cup of Coca-Cola and say a good old hearty from the deep part of my soul, fuck you hard!